Marines, Coast Guard, and Guardians the resources and the support that you need to accomplish your mission and defend this nation. And we also provided the largest pay increase in the last 10 years, and you deserve every penny. Now, let me say, none of that would have been possible without the strong support of leaders in the Congress of the United States. And here at Fort Drum, it's important for me to tell you, none of that would have been possible without the strong support of Congresswoman Elise Stefanik on the Armed Services Committee of the House of Representatives. Would you join me in thanking Congresswoman Stefanik for her strong support for Fort Drum and our armed forces? Our military is now better equipped, better supplied, better trained than ever before. We've upgraded our tanks, our artillery, our rocket systems. We've bolstered our fleet of attack helicopters and fighter planes. And with that strong commitment to our national defense and a willingness to use American power to advance American interests, our allies have stepped up as never before. Since 2016, our NATO allies have increased their contribution to our common defense by more than $130 billion. History teaches that weakness arouses evil. And our administration has always understood that if you want peace, you prepare for war. Peace requires two things: a strong national defense and a willingness to act to defend America's vital national interests. And I'm proud to report, with just a few days left in our administration is the first administration in decades that did not get America into a new war. That is peace through strength. And with that strength and with the valor of the 10th Mountain and our armed forces around the world, we've taken the fight to radical Islamic terrorists on our terms, on their soil. More than a year ago, our armed forces captured the last inch of territory controlled by ISIS, and the 10th Mountain was in the fight from early on. U.S. forces crushed the caliphate and took down their leader without one American casualty. And during these past 4 years, we've stood up to the leading state sponsor of terror as well. Withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal, we've strengthened our alliances in the region and isolated Iran as never before. And when the most dangerous terrorist on the planet threatened to do harm to American forces, we acted, and Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani, is gone. Thanks to American leadership and the courage and valor of our armed forces, a more peaceful Middle East is within our sights. Peace negotiations have resumed this month in Doha, Qatar, between the Afghan government and the Taliban. And for the first time in 26 years, 4 Arab countries have recognized Israel's right to exist. So whether it be in the global war on terror or manning the ramparts of freedom in Europe, men and women of the United States Army have been at the tip of the spear, and you always will be. Your readiness, staying Army strong, is more important than ever before. The 10th Mountain Division in particular will be the vanguard in the years ahead to ensure that no nation will ever again become a safe haven for evil that could threaten our people or the wider world. We're all counting on you because we know we can. So on behalf of your Commander-in-Chief, let me offer you this admonition. In these challenging times across the wider world, be vigilant. Mind your mission. Respect the unified chain of command. Keep taking care of each other. And never doubt that every decision you make matters to the defense of our nation and our vital national interests abroad. Give America your best every day, in the very best tradition of the 10th Mountain Division. And as you stand your post, I want you to know the American people are behind you 100%. You know, I'm always humbled to stand before men and women like all of you. Because while my dad was a combat veteran, U.S. Army, he saw action in the Korean War. And while our son and our son-in-law are serving in the military today, my life didn't take me into the uniform of the United States. And so it's deeply humbling to stand before people like you. But maybe it's altogether fitting that you hear from an American like me. Not so much as your vice president, but just as a grateful citizen. To say the words that you should hear now and for the rest of your lives. Thank you for your service. To the men and women of the 10th Mountain Division here at Fort Drum, I assure you, you are the strength and the pride of the American people. America is the freest and strongest nation in the history of the world. And you secure that freedom. And you are that strength. You step forward in a calling where you decided to count our lives as more important than your own. For just like those in generations that have gone before, the day you stepped forward, you knew that the soldier does not bear the sword in vain. And so as I thank all of you here, and all of those members of the 10th Mountain that are deployed overseas at this very hour, let me say to each and every one of you, our nation will never forget or fail to honor those in the 10th Mountain Division who gave their last full measure of devotion. I promise you that. And I want to assure you that the American people understand the risks that you shoulder every day. But know this, you do not bear that burden alone. Wherever you're called to serve, wherever you are deployed, I promise you, you will carry with you the strength and pride of this nation. And you will carry with you the prayers of millions of Americans. Every day, in homes across the land, in the city and on the farm, around dinner tables, at places of worship, or just in quiet moments, I know the American people are praying for you. Each and every one of you. In the words of the psalmist, that no harm would befall you, no disaster would come near your tent, and that as you serve, that his faithfulness would be your shield and your rampart. So thank you for the privilege of being with you today. And as our time in office draws to a close, Allow me to thank you for the privilege of serving as your Vice President. It's been the greatest honor of my life. And it's been a special privilege to serve all of you and men and women like you who have met all over this country and all over the world wearing the uniform of the armed forces of the United States. My fellow Americans, we've all been through a lot this past year. But through it all, I've seen the strength and resilience of the American people shine forth. And I see that strength in your faces today. Looking out at all of you and remembering the countless heroes we've met along the way these past 4 years, and remembering the grace of Him that has ever guided the destiny of this nation, I have faith that the day will come when we put these challenging times in the past and emerge stronger and better than ever. We will heal our land. We will renew our strength. And the best days for the greatest nation on earth are yet to come. In this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So God bless the men and women of the 10th Mountain here and deployed with His protection as you climb for glory. God bless all of those in the armed forces of the United States. And God bless America.